The preservation of macaws and the challenges of rare mutations. Have you ever heard of scarlet macaws with rare mutations? How do these genetic changes affect their survival and preservation? Recently, a surprising case was observed, a macaw with lutinism living among other macaws of the same species. But could this condition represent a threat or an advantage in nature? In this video, you will discover everything about the preservation of these incredible birds, the challenges faced by individuals with rare mutations, and how these genetic variations impact biodiversity. If you love nature and want to understand how science and conservation intersect, this video will open your mind to a fascinating universe. Have you ever imagined what it would be like to find such a rare animal in nature? Can he adapt and survive? What's more, could mutations like this be signs of bigger changes in the ecosystem? Stay until the end, because what you will learn here could change the way you see wildlife. The preservation of canine macaws and the challenges of rare mutations. Did you know that some scarlet macaws can be born with extremely rare genetic mutations? Recently, an impressive case was observed, a macaw with lutinism living in a group of other macaws of the same species. But what does this mean? Does this mutation affect their survival? Or are we facing a natural phenomenon that could bring new discoveries to science? Today, we will explore the mysteries of genetic mutations in these incredible birds and understand how they can impact their adaptation to the environment. Let's talk about the conservation of scarlet macaws, the challenges faced by individuals born with these unique characteristics, and what researchers say about this phenomenon. And here's a question for you to reflect on: how do these mutations affect the lives of these animals? Do they help or hinder your survival in nature? What's more, could these genetic changes be becoming more common? Stay with me until the end, because what you discover could change the way you see wildlife. The discovery of a lutinismus macaw living among other macaws of the same species is a rare and fascinating event. This genetic mutation alters the bird's natural color, making its feathers lighter, with golden or whitish tones. But beyond its unique appearance, several questions arise. How was this macaw found? Does it face challenges in the wild? How can your presence impact the group you belong to? This specific case caught the attention of researchers and wildlife observers because it is an extremely rare phenomenon. Generally, birds with genetic mutations such as lutinism are more common in captivity, where there is greater control over reproduction and an environment protected from predators. However, finding a macaw with this characteristic in the wild raises several questions about its origin and ability to survive. The sighting occurred in a forested area where there is a known population of scarlet macaws. The researchers noticed that, among the group, one of them stood out due to its atypical coloring. Unlike the others, which have the characteristic vibrant blue and yellow, this macaw had a much lighter tone, almost golden. Despite the visual difference, she seemed to interact normally with the other macaws, with no apparent signs of immediate rejection. But does that mean she doesn't face challenges? The challenges of the rare macaw. Life in nature is not easy for any animal, and when there is such a clear genetic difference, the challenges can be even greater. In many cases, individuals with rare mutations have difficulty surviving due to several factors. One, greater visibility for predators. The vibrant colors of scarlet macaws already attract a lot of attention, but their natural tones still offer some level of camouflage amidst the vegetation. A macaw with lutinism, as it is lighter, can stand out even more in the environment, becoming an easier target for predators such as hawks, felines, and even poachers. 2, possible difficulties in acceptance in the group. Many animal species have social standards that involve visual recognition. In some cases, an individual who is very different from the others may be rejected or treated differently by the group. However, so far, this specific macaw seems to be able to coexist normally with its peers, which indicates that social acceptance was not an immediate problem for it. 3, impact on reproduction. Genetic mutations can influence the reproduction of an animal. If this macaw finds a partner and generates offspring, there is a possibility that the mutation will be passed on. However, as lutinism is a recessive genetic trait, this would only happen if the partner also carries this mutation, which is extremely rare. 4, health and longevity. Some genetic mutations may be associated with health problems, such as impaired vision or greater sensitivity to the sun. To date, there is no information to indicate that this macaw has any disability linked to lutinism, but additional studies would be necessary to assess its well-being over time. The impact of the discovery for science and conservation. Observing this rare macaw in the wild is extremely valuable for researchers. It raises important questions about the genetics of the species and its evolutionary process. Are mutations like this becoming more common? Could this be a sign of changes in the ecosystem? Furthermore, this case reinforces the need to protect populations of scarlet macaws in their natural habitat. These birds already face challenges due to deforestation, animal trafficking, and climate change. The existence of individuals with rare mutations shows how important genetic diversity is for the preservation of the species and how each macaw plays a fundamental role in maintaining ecological balance. What could happen to this macaw in the future? The future of this macaw with lutinism is still uncertain. If it manages to survive natural challenges and adapt well to its group, it can continue living normally and even leave a genetic legacy, if it manages to reproduce. On the other hand, your chances of survival may be reduced if you face difficulties such as increased exposure to predators or health problems. What we know for sure is that their existence represents an incredible opportunity to learn more about the species and how nature can surprise us every day. Cases like this reinforce the importance of conservation and scientific research to ensure that these magnificent birds continue to color the skies for generations to come. Now, could other macaws with rare mutations exist without having been discovered? And how can we, as a society, help preserve these incredible birds? Let's explore these questions in the next segment. The importance of preservation. The scarlet macaw is one of the most iconic birds in South America, known for its beauty and intelligence. However, their survival is threatened due to habitat destruction, animal trafficking, and climate change. The discovery of a macaw with a rare mutation, such as lutinism, further reinforces the need to preserve these birds and their ecosystem. After all, each individual, regardless of their genetic characteristics, has an essential role in the balance of nature. The conservation of these birds is not just about protecting one species, but about maintaining biodiversity as a whole. Scarlet macaws perform important functions in the environment, such as seed dispersal, which helps to regenerate forests. When their number decreases, the entire ecosystem suffers the consequences. And if it's already difficult for common macaws to survive threats, imagine one with a rare mutation, which could make it more vulnerable in the wild. But what can we do to help? Preservation begins with awareness. Supporting conservation projects, denouncing animal trafficking, and encouraging sustainable practices are attitudes that make a difference. Furthermore, studies on cases like this of the rare scarlet macaw can bring new information about the genetics of the species and its chances of adapting to the environment. If we want future generations to continue to admire these incredible birds, the time to act is now. The future of the scarlet macaw depends on what we do today. After all, do we want to live in a world where these vibrant colors and majestic flights cease to exist? The discovery of this Lutinian macaw shows us how nature still holds incredible surprises. This rare mutation leads us to reflect on the genetic diversity within the species and the challenges that these individuals may face to survive in the wild. Furthermore, it reinforces the importance of protecting these animals and their habitat to ensure that future generations can continue to admire these magnificent birds. As we have seen, the macaw plays a fundamental role in ecological balance, helping to disperse seeds and maintain biodiversity. However, threats such as deforestation, illegal hunting, and climate change put their survival at risk. If we want to preserve the species and allow even rare individuals, like this uniquely colored macaw, the chance to live freely in the wild, we need to act now. And this is where your participation comes in. You can make a difference by supporting conservation projects, sharing information about the importance of these birds, and reporting illegal activities that threaten wildlife. Small actions, such as avoiding purchasing wild animals and supporting environmental initiatives, help protect not only the macaws, but the entire ecosystem in which they live. If you like this video and want to learn more about nature and species preservation, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Your support is essential for us to continue bringing content like this. And now, tell me in the comments, have you ever heard about lutinism in macaws? What do you think of this rare mutation? Let's talk and spread this preservation message together. See you in the next video.